May is Correct Posture Month. I didn't know that, but since there's only a couple days left in May, we're going to talk about it. We want to make sure your back is in good shape. And joining us today is physical therapist Phil Oliveri from Rockford Spine Center. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So, I mean, I'm trying right now to say it straight, but I guess what is Correct Posture Month all about?
Correct Posture Month is the recognition of posture and the role it plays in keeping you healthy and pain-free, being able to do what you need to do in the most pain-free manner.
And what are the effects of poor posture?
I tell patients that I work with that posture accounts for about 80% of the problems that we see. Mostly as a physical therapist, we see patients who come in with pain because of movement disorders. And posture is integral to just about everything you do movement-wise.
And that's something that can continually develop and get worse and worse over the years if you continue to do that. Because a lot of people, they'll sit at work all day and they'll be at their desk and, you know, some are slouching over typing, others are maybe getting up and walking around, but you kind of return to that kind of just same old sit back and not in the right position.
Absolutely. Posture is a habit, and it can get better and better if you work at it, but it does take constant vigilance because you're working against gravity, and gravity is relentless, so you really have to stay with it all the time.
And you talk about the vigilance. What are some things that people can do, maybe even like sitting? What's the best type of thing you can maybe do to help correct your back and keep it in good shape?
Sitting, generally, you make sure that your bottom is pressed into the back of the chair.
And a little farther up.
That's right. Keep your shoulders back, your chin tucked. You want to keep your knees and hips at 90 and 90 degrees. Those are your basics. If you have elbow rests, you want to keep your elbow rests at elbow height.
Okay.
Keep your work at your hand level. So if your elbows are resting on the elbow rests, you want your work at elbow or at hand height. And then if you're working on a monitor, general ergonomics, you want the monitor, the top of the monitor at eye level.
Keeping that chin kind of straight there then.
Correct. Yeah,
okay.
So you keep yourself in alignment.
And as we get older, are there any warning signs where you might have something going on that might get worse as time progresses?
There's a specific posture, defect that we look for. Generally, the most epidemic is rounded shoulder, forward head posture. You're gonna notice pain as a result, but generally, you want to keep your shoulders back, chin tucked. Those are the most common. That's the most common.
And I know you might have a couple that we can do standing up, possibly, as far as we can stand up and do these real quick and maybe try something out. And
I could show you some sitting down here first. The first one that you work with, I'd tell people to do this laying down in bed, actually, with their nose pointed at the ceiling. Put a rolled towel behind your neck and then do what's called a chin tuck into that towel.
Okay.
So you press the nape of your neck back into the towel. That'll strengthen the muscles in the back of the neck and help you to be able to hold your head up a little bit more erect. Other things that we look at as far as exercises are to stretch the muscles in the chest to bring the shoulders back into a more neutral position. There's a couple of exercises. We don't have a corner to work with here, but you can do this in a doorway or a corner. If you want to stand up, we can certainly kind of demonstrate it. It's a corner stretch. You would get yourself facing into the corner with your hands out to the sides, kind of lean in and bring the shoulders back. So you'd be stretching.
So you're bringing this stuff back.
Just try to stretch the pectoral muscles.
You feel it right away.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's trying to adapt to a more normal posture feels abnormal at first, but the more you work at it by stretching and strengthening. Another exercise to do would be to stand with your back to the wall and do what I call snow angels.
Okay.
So you'll just bring your arms up, try to keep your elbows and wrists in contact with the wall, bring them as high as you can overhead. And that stretches, but it also strengthens as well.
Very good. So we can get more information from the Rockford Spine Center then?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. We do appreciate it. Your top stories and weather.